Right now at 6, President Trump strikes a trade deal with China, how soybean farmers are reacting to the news.
And food share benefits are set to run dry in just 2 days. How many Wisconsinites will be impacted by the lack of funding?
And Microsoft announcing a partnership with UW-Madison. The advance is being planned for artificial intelligence research, and we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Farmers across the country are reacting after today's meeting between President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping.
It was their first face-to-face meeting in 6 years and follows a turbulent couple of months for the global economy as the two leaders played tit-for-tat with mounting tariffs. President Trump says a trade deal has been reached and the two nations agreed on, quote, almost everything, including soybean trade.
Large amounts, tremendous amounts of the soybeans and other farm products are going to be purchased immediately.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary says China agreed to purchase 25 million metric tons of soybeans for the next 3 years. They will start by purchasing 12 million metric tons from now until January. President Trump says he plans to go to China in April for new trade talks, and Xi will come to the United States sometime after that. Now, the American Soybean Association celebrating the news, saying, quote, this is a meaningful step forward to reestablishing a stable, long-term trading relationship that delivers results for farm families and future generations, end quote. The ASA adds that China historically has purchased 25 to 30 million metric tons of soybeans from the U.S. in recent years.
And now turning to the weather out there, it is Halloween tomorrow already. Blaze, what is our current forecast for all of those trick-or-treaters?
It's hard to believe that Halloween is tomorrow, but it is looking like maybe we'll dodge a light rain shower or two, not a washout, as we've had a couple of Halloweens prior, but also not forecasting any snow, which a couple of Halloweens ago we were also dealing with. Instead, we're going to be sitting underneath mostly cloudy conditions. Again, a hit or miss shower can't be ruled out, but I think a lot more of this rain holds off until after the trick-or-treating is wrapped up, further into the early morning hours on Saturday. You may be seeing some purple, pinks, and even blue on Future Track as temperatures drop overnight Friday into the start of November. Some of those raindrops could turn over to some light snow, or at the very least, a light wintry mix. We're looking at the upper 40s to low 50s for trick-or-treating time. Mostly cloudy, light winds out of the north. Maybe a light jacket. You can always take the First Warn Weather app with you. Track out any showers on our interactive radar. Maybe take the light rain jacket. Probably don't have to put it on. We want to see the kiddos' outfits and they want to show them off, but just in case you're caught underneath, say, one of those stray showers. A live look out in Dodgeville quickly. It is 52 degrees on our Upland Hills sky cam with a light northwesterly wind. Clouds are starting to move on in when they clear on out in the full forecast.
Blaze, thank you. On Saturday, SNAP benefits will run out across the country due to the federal government shutdown.
And we're providing you full team coverage as hundreds of thousands of Wisconsinites are set to feel the impact. Let's begin with Armand Rahman. He was at a food collection event at a St. Vincent de Paul food pantry today.
Now, Armand, if the program pauses, how many people in Wisconsin will this impact?
Well, Eric and Susan, it would impact roughly 700,000 people in Wisconsin who would lose their food assistance. And for Wisconsin to try to shoulder the cost of expanding food share for even a month, it would cost the state $114 million in funds that could not be reimbursed. Now, closer to home, about 64,000 people of those 700,000 are in Dane County who rely on food share. That's the county with the second largest number of recipients. Milwaukee County has the most on food share at around 235,000 a month, and Rock County has about 23,000 residents who get food assistance. Those who give out food to people every day say the uncertainty can be painful both for them and for them to see.
People like going through a food pantry line normally are pretty stressed out usually, but to see the amount of stress that is on people's faces now, not knowing what's going on in the future, because they rely so heavily on food share to get the food that their family needs, it's going to be really tough.
And in the last few days, St. Vincent de Paul Pantry has seen a 40 to 50% increase in people coming to the pantry in need. And of that, more than 60,000 in Dane County who receive food assistance. Most are either working with families or are disabled.
Armand, thank you. And right now, restaurants and nonprofits are preparing for food share benefits to be paused.
That's right. This will impact 700,000 people in Wisconsin. That's according to Governor Tony Evers. Our Tanisha Shaw is outside of a food pantry in Edgerton. Now, Tanisha, how are food banks in rural areas preparing?
Hi, Eric and Sarah. As you said, I'm here outside of a food bank. This is Edgerton Community Outreach. It's one of the only food pantries in the area. And today I went across South Central Wisconsin, and I'm talking to nonprofits and even restaurants about how they are going to adjust to the government shutdown and the resources that they have that people can take advantage of. As we know, on Wednesday, as we learned, if the government doesn't open up by Saturday, then food share benefits will be paused. And this will leave 70,000 people in the state of Wisconsin alone without benefits to get food. Now, throughout the week, Channel 3 has been reporting on resources for anyone in need. And in rural areas like here in Edgerton, people have less access to food pantries, and sometimes the resources, they can even get overwhelmed. Edgerton's food pantry here at Community Outreach said that they're in a good space right now.
There's access points in all of the rural areas. What I think is one of the issues is just not enough capacity. So not having enough food on the shelves, and then also not having hours or days of operation that meet the need of the people. We're really lucky because of our volunteer base that we're open 5 days a week, but a lot of times it might be 1 day a week or, 1 or 2 days a month. And so if you're in a community where there's no access, it's really, really difficult.
And I also talked to a Madison restaurant owner that is helping families and letting them eat meals at the restaurant with a pay-as-you-can system. I will have more on that and even more resources that people in South Central Wisconsin can take advantage of. Reporting in Edgerton, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
A deadline drawing near. Tanasia, thank you. And Wisconsin's Attorney General and more than 20 other states are suing the federal government over the plan to halt SNAP funding. The states argue the federal government is legally required to continue distributing food assistance even during a government shutdown, and that ending payments violates the Administrative Procedures Act.
There are statutes making clear that this funding should be prioritized, and there's money available to continue this funding. So what the Trump administration is doing is shutting this program down unnecessarily early, and that's going to have significant harms to people in Wisconsin and around the country.
Call says this is the first time the federal government has moved to stop SNAP benefits during a shutdown. A judge has not yet ruled on the state's request to temporarily block the funding freeze.
And we will continue to follow the food share funding stoppage, including whether a judge sides with states or the Trump administration over it. Right here on News 3 Now, we will have updates on air as well as directly to your phone with our free mobile app.
The woman who killed her mother in Blue Mounds will spend the rest of her life in a mental health facility. Today, a judge ordered 31-year-old Sierra Schoonover to be committed to a state institution. Back in April, she killed her mother Heather at home on Smoky Mountain Trail. In court, prosecutors, the defense, and judge all agreed Schoonover did not understand what she was doing when she committed the crime. Schoonover spoke during the hearing, expressing remorse for her actions.
Well, Microsoft is partnering with UW-Madison and Princeton University to accelerate artificial intelligence discoveries. Researchers will analyze data, simulate experiments, and uncover new materials and solutions, helping AI agents and human experts collaborate on investigations. Microsoft says the technology could be a potential solution to environmental challenges.
Next at 6, veterinarians issue a safety warning for pets ahead of Halloween.
And how can you know, what you eat is safe? The tool at your fingertips to check for food recalls when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
A lot of people wonder, how do you know the food you eat is safe?
Food recalls are a health concern, but there are steps you can take before you buy. A new study from GS1 US, the organization known for setting barcode standards, shows 60% of consumers have avoided an entire food category because of a recall. Now, not all shoppers may know it, but they have one tool at their fingertips, smartphone apps that scan barcodes and instantly check recall status.
Would be easier for us, consumers.
Scanning every item? Probably not, to be honest with you, but it seems like a good idea.
Data from the CDC shows about 48 million Americans experience a foodborne illness every year, but the FDA says the nation's food supply is among the safest in the world.
With Halloween tomorrow, veterinarians are warning about possible dangers for pets. The American Veterinary Medical Association is warning owners that more pets land in the emergency clinic this time of year. Experts say if your pet is dressing up, their costume should fit well so it doesn't cause them to choke or trip. Also, try to keep the sweets like gum and chocolate far out of your pet's reach.
Artificial sweetener such as with xylitol, that in itself can cause a significant amount of distress and can be deadly. Chocolates can cause a significant amount of damage to the liver.
Veterinarians also recommend having pets microchipped just in case they run out of the house or get lost.
Still to come at 6, Blaze tells us about the forecast and what it'll be like for our local trick-or-treaters.
And a brother and sister are breaking barriers. How fast they can solve the Rubik's Cube puzzle. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Since 1974, fewer than 500,000 people have been able to solve a Rubik's Cube. 1 in 10 of them are women.
And you've done it, right?
Never.
All right.
Well, actually, maybe.
I'm just kidding.
Not this fast.
We do want to introduce you to something much more impressive. A brother and sister breaking barriers when it comes to solving this puzzle. 6-year-old Arna. She was the youngest competitor in the Wisconsin Speed Cubing Championship. She's a student at Pope Farm Elementary School in Middleton, able to finish in 54 seconds. And she was taught by her 10-year-old brother, Arash, sitting next to her right there during summer break. He tells us how he taught his sister this challenging skill.
I taught her like the different algorithms, and I taught her how to make the decisions, like which way should we move this piece to get closer to solving it, like that.
I like about cubing.
Oh, it's too sweet. Arash says that he wants to start a cubing club at his school and build a community of Madison cubers, focusing on encouraging more girls into STEM fields through cubing.
It took me so much longer. I had to move all the stickers to the other side, but I finally got it. Trick-or-treaters across southern Wisconsin will be roaming the streets tomorrow night. Of course, City of Madison does not have official trick-or-treating hours, but people are advised to walk around between 4 and 8 p.m. In Middleton, the official hours are 5 to 7. Fitchburg begins an hour earlier at 4. In Janesville, it's 5:30 to 7:30. We do have a full list of all the trick-or-treating hours throughout southern Wisconsin. You can find them on our website, channel3000.com. And Blaze, on this All Hallows Eve, what should trick-or-treaters expect from our weather?
We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions. We'll go over the Halloween forecast again, but we may squeeze out a light rain shower before that rain activity turns over to maybe a light rain snow mix as temperatures dip overnight Friday into Saturday into those mid to upper 30s. The weekend, other than that, is looking pretty seasonal, upper 40s on Saturday. The 50s return on Sunday. Sunday's also going to be breezy, and those southwesterly winds on Sunday will warm us even further into that first full week in November. Tomorrow, upper 40s to low 50s, ending not only the work week, but October, right around where we should be for this time of year. We're going to be underneath some light winds out of the north, and they'll stick with us through the time that we're going to be doing that trick-or-treating. Temperatures for that trick-or-treat time frame looking to be more or less in the mid to upper 40s to low 50s. A light mix shower, as I mentioned, can't be ruled out. Probably going to be more rain than that mix, especially earlier on. You can always take the First Warn Weather app with you, maybe the light rain jacket, just in case you're underneath the shower, but I don't think you're going to need that jacket on the entire time you're trick-or-treating. A low pressure system is going to bring us that rain as it essentially falls apart, moving out of Canada into parts of Wisconsin throughout the day on Friday. Earlier on Friday, most of that rain activity is going to be off to our north or to our north and west. It's as we go further overnight Friday into Saturday that a lot more of that rain now is across parts of central and southern Wisconsin. We're at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Still cloudy with winds out of the north. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s for that first day of November. When we get into Sunday, we get sandwiched between a high pressure system to our south and a low pressure system to our north. We'll essentially have a corridor, a highway, if you will, of southerly winds pulling in a lot of that heat out of parts of the lower plains. And that is going to warm us up, not on Sunday, but into Monday. So our wind gusts throughout the day on Sunday looking to be anywhere between 20 to 30 miles per hour. And really next week is kind of looking to be on the breezier side. Now that we're saying goodbye to October, we're really beginning to enter into what will be probably 5 to 6 months of our breeziest conditions here across Wisconsin. Our least breeziest month is there in August with the average wind at about 8 miles an hour. As we go into May, that's actually our breeziest month when wind speeds are right around 12 to 13 miles per hour. So pretty much from November through April, we are going to likely be breezy. Here's a look at what we can expect this evening. Mostly cloudy conditions to partly cloudy conditions. Temperatures hanging out in those 40s until we get into those early morning hours on Friday there. That's when we'll hang out in the 30s. There's that 10-day forecast. If you're heading up to Lambeau, it is going to be breezy on Sunday. Remember, we gain an hour of sleep overnight Saturday. And then, as I mentioned, those warmer temperatures arrive for the first half of next week.
So it doesn't look bad for the trick-or-treaters?
No, I mean, there's been years where it's been much, much worse.
It's all relative.
Yes, maybe just a light rain jacket, an umbrella. I don't think you're going to need either the whole time, but just in case one of those showers moves on in, you don't want to ruin your costume
And
or
when
the
you,
candy.
It's really more about the parents wimping out with the weather.
Yeah, I think the
Nothing
kids
will
will do it
stop
no
the
matter
kids
what.
from getting their
Free candy?
Nothing will stop them. Blaze, thank you. Next in sports, Badger men's and women's hockey set for border battles this weekend. We'll hear from Mike Hastings and Mark Johnson how they're preparing to face those Gophers. That's next at 6.
Both the Wisconsin hockey men's and women's teams are getting ready for a border battle this weekend.
We'll both face the Gophers, and while the women have just owned that series, they've won 10 straight games in the series. It's always interesting when the men's teams face off, and our Nash Dara has more on the matchup.
Wisconsin's men's hockey has started the season off hot with 4 wins, 0 losses, and 2 ties. However, the 14th ranked team has their hands full this weekend as they take on the Minnesota Gophers, an arch rival in the Big Ten, and a team they have not beaten since October of 2023.
History, these two programs have played each other a lot in a lot of meaningful games, and this is going to be another one.
I mean, this week is always a big week. Like, we always have it circled in our season, so we always just try to take all the energy and the atmosphere that we bring at the Kohl Center and our fans bring and just try to translate it to how we play on the ice.
Their counterpart, the #1 ranked women's team and reigning national champions, also have the Gophers on their radar, as on Halloween, Bucky will be taking on Minnesota for the first time this season at the LeBron.
When we step on the ice Friday to start the game, there's going to be a special electricity in there, and so something special is going to happen, and it's going to be a lot of fun to be part of.
The 4 big games of hockey between here at the Kohl Center and at the LeBron have stirred a lot of excitement in and out of the locker rooms, and we will just have to wait and see to see how Bucky fares against one of his arch rivals. At the Kohl Center, Nash Dara, News 3 Sports.
And you do not want to miss pure domination by the Badger women's hockey team. Okay, I'm a little overconfident there. The game starts at 6 tomorrow evening, and you can watch it on our sister channel, Television Wisconsin, 3-2. The Wisconsin women are #1 in the nation. Minnesota, not too shabby either. The Gophers are ranked 3rd in the country.
Well, today, Micah Parsons was named NFC Defensive Player of the Month. This comes after Parsons ended October with 4 sacks. 3 of those came against the Arizona Cardinals, making him the only NFC player this month with a 3-sack game. This is Parsons' 2nd Career Player of the Month award as well. He also won it in September of 23 with the Cowboys. The last Packer to win the award was Xavier McKinney in October of 2024. Well, Christian Watson returned to the field on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Watson suffered an ACL injury just 10 months ago. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has a closer look at Watson's immediate impact on Sunday night.
Last week, we spent some time talking about Christian Watson and his likely return to the lineup. But I got to be honest, for a guy that was coming off a torn ACL that he suffered here at Lambeau back in January, I wasn't expecting the kind of performance that he delivered. 4 catches for 85 yards. He was a weapon for the Packers offense. And one person who wasn't surprised was Jordan Love.
Yeah, no, I think it's great to have Christian back out there. And, you know, it's one of those things where he made every play that came his way, I feel like, in the game. I think he had 4 catches on 4 targets. They're all pretty big plays. So, you know, you love to see that. Obviously, for a guy who's missed so much practice and playing time, you know, it's tough to be able to get back in that kind of rhythm right off the bat, and he did a good job of doing that. So, you know, we'll keep building that thing with him, but we know what type of player Christian is, and defense has got to know where he's at, respect him. He's a big playmaker for us.
Now, the Packers offense is also routed through tight end Tucker Kraft, and with good reason. He had a huge game against the Steelers last Sunday night, but there should be enough balls to go around, and you know Christian Watson is a playmaker when given those opportunities. We'll see if he can do that on Sunday here at Lambeau against the Carolina Panthers, and we'll have full coverage of that game and everything leading up to it on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our newsletter, which delivers our Packers coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And we're checking on our forecast. Everyone talking about Halloween.
Yes, some light rain will be possible, but we'll probably stay mostly cloudy with more of that rain overnight, turning over to a light rain snow mix for parts of Saturday morning. Then we'll be mostly cloudy for the remainder of Saturday, breezy and slightly warmer on Sunday, and then we get back into those 50s with more sunshine for that first full week of November.
Not so bad. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 6. Entertainment Tonight is next.
Our next newscast coming up tonight at 10. Of course, you can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000 Plus. Have a good evening.